Yeah. So, when I think about our business, I carve it out into like three or four revenue buckets,
Mm.
right? One is this kind of concept of what is really more of a traditional media business, perhaps.
Yeah.
And that's our podcasts, our videos. Those are monetized through advertising. Okay. So let's take a podcast like this, for example. For us, we sell advertising on our podcasts. And that advertising costs $25 per thousand downloads, more give or take. It's just the pricing depends on various things and the recency of the show, all those types of things. Let's call it $25 per thousand impressions. And in an hour-long episode, there will be 5 advertisements. Okay, so that means that I'm making $125 per thousand downloads.
Right.
Right. If we reach, and let's be conservative here. Let's say we sell out 70% of the ads. Okay, so look, if I've got an episode that serves 10,000 people, then I'm going to make $1,250.
Right.
I'm going to allow a vacancy allowance, unsold advertising allowance. I'm going to I got to pay the hosts of the show something. I've got to pay to produce and edit and write the descriptions and all those types of things to produce that show. And we've got to allocate overhead. My time is worth something, as is the time of the rest of our staff and the office space and those types of things that go into all supporting that show. So at the end of the day, I've determined that if I get to about 10,000 listens per episode in a podcast, that I will more or less break even on that show. Life is not all about money, but you can't scale production indefinitely if you're losing money, right?
100%.
So you got to be at least break even for it to be valuable. And that's the great thing about capitalism in general, right? I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, it's all about money. No, my show is not making money if we're not getting enough listens and it's not valuable enough to enough people, right? And so you can kind of do the same thing for a YouTube video, right? There's ads on the YouTube video and those types of things. And then so each one of these pieces of content in general needs to have what's called positive unit economics, right? The unit economics have to be favorable to allow us to continue scaling production. And where that's the case, the reason that's the case is because people are loving the content and consuming it at a high enough level, or the right people are consuming that content. You don't need 10,000 listeners to a podcast on multifamily syndication. You may
Right.
only need 100 listeners for that one, and those people are each incredibly valuable, for example, to a sponsor for those types of things, right?
Yeah.
So you can build those niche communities. You just have to really know what your users are worth economically in order to scale a business, right? On those things. And so the idea is like, great, you layer those things up and you say, all these things are related. They're all one and the same. A podcast listener drives, then goes on to potentially join our online community, then goes on to join the YouTube community. The more ways we can give them content and value, the better off they are, and the more they go on to potentially contribute to the community. And each piece of the content then is contributing to other things, lowering my threshold.
Right.
So for example, if that's break even on in isolation for the podcast, I know that I'm getting potential other benefits like driving acquisition to our YouTube channel,
Right.
and ultimately onto our site, and perhaps some of those users would go on to buy our pro membership or books as well. So really getting tight on those things I think is key. And then so our model is, hey, we got this media business, we've got this subscription business, and we've also got what we call this lead generation business, where a lot of our users really need lenders, agents,
Yeah.
insurance brokers, and property managers and those types of things. And one of our goals is to build out this directory of really good investor-friendly real estate agents, investor-friendly lenders, property managers, and have them rated by the community, given feedback and those types of things, and allow our users to go there. So what is our business model? Our business is a media business, a subscription business, and this lead generation business, but all tied around this concept of building community, one community and market niche and real estate at a time,
Yeah.
that our users demand and desire.